Hello family, I hope all of you guys are healthy and safe and well and enjoying the holidays and with your family and your loved ones and all that good stuff. You know what I'm gonna say. If you're not already subscribed, pause this video and press subscribe down below. Hit the bell notifications link so you guys know when a new video is going live. Without further ado, we're just gonna get right into it. So I have been getting 1,000,001 questions from you all about influencing, about my journey. We have a ton of new faces on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, everything. So I kind of wanted to take this video before we get into the new year to kind of just reintroduce myself and answer some of you all's pressing questions about what it is I do, how I got here, some tips and things like that. So Shay is behind the camera.
Hi people.
And she is going to ask me some of the questions that you all sent in, and then some that just being around she hears people ask, or they ask her, or whatever the case may be, because people always go to Shay like, she's not responding. Do you know how she blah, blah, blah. So if you guys don't already know, my name is JaLisa. I am originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I went to school at Syracuse University, graduated from Syracuse, and moved to Dallas to work in IT. My degree is in information management and technology. I moved down to Dallas in 2015 to work for HP, and I was in enterprise IT services. My client was Procter & Gamble. I personally sold about 12 million of business into them yearly. I was there for almost 3 years before I took the leap and went into full-time influencing, entrepreneurship, all that good stuff. In the evenings, I would do my blogging and shooting and stuff like that. And then it just got to a point where it wasn't really adding up, and what I was doing in the evenings was returning more than what I was doing during the day. I have like 10 different looks that I have to shoot today, so it'll be a long day. I prayed about it. I talked to God. We had a whole deliberation situation, and I finally felt like He had called me to take that leap and move on. While I was at the job, He told me that before I just quit. So I was planning, I was saving, I was doing all that stuff, and I was like, I'll be here for this amount of time. And when He actually tells me the time to do it, because of course I was scared, I'm gonna actually take the leap. And that was after I had saved a good amount. I knew that everything wasn't just gonna take off right away. So I had a backup strategy as far as like savings and things like that. But I was ready to dive fully in, and I felt like He gave me that push. He really did give me a push, because He was telling me to do it. I was stalling, and then things started going crazy at work. We went through a merger. They were laying people off, all that kind of stuff. I didn't get laid off, but my organization was going through all of this change. And I was just like, okay, I don't know if this is you doing this to fully push me out the door, because you're like, hello, I keep telling you to go. But I did, and it's been amazing ever since. Amazingly good, amazingly hard, amazingly all of that. In 3 months, we'll be 3 years full time. And of course, back then everyone was like, that's not a real job. How are you gonna do health insurance? All that kind of stuff is not a real thing. You'll be back. But I was like, I know that this is what I'm called to do. I know that God is going to give me an avenue and give me an audience, and He has people who will listen to me. I know I'm not for everybody, but He has people who are waiting on what He has called me to do. Long story short, that's how I got here. I come from a family of preachers and pastors. So the whole inspiring, encouraging thing is kind of like innate. But growing up, I always was really shy, and I was always like, I will never be a pastor. I will never be a preacher. And my mom and my grandma, and they're like, you're gonna be just like them. Preacher and being a preacher and evangelist and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, no. But then this happened, and I was like, maybe God has called me to internet ministry in a way. So, I mean, it kind of lines up, but it's just in a different way. But I just never saw myself like public speaking and doing all of that stuff. So that's a little bit of background about me. I love Dallas. I love my job. I love being an influencer. I am a workaholic. My team frequently gets annoyed with me because I don't take breaks. I did learn the hard way as far as like when I first got started, like that first year, I was like, you don't deserve a break. You don't deserve a break. Like, you need to keep going. You're not where you want to be, all that kind of stuff. And then I burnt out. So I do force myself to like bring it down a notch and stop when I need to, or when I feel that like my anxiety is starting to like row up and stuff. But I still feel like my limits are a little bit different from other people's. I think that's it. Am I missing anything?
Oh, since she's reintroducing herself, she's married and she's now pregnant.
That part. A lot of you guys, for the people who have been here for years, you've been along for a wild ride. I am now married. I have a baby girl on the way. She will be here whenever God decides to let her be here. But time is winding up. Follow my husband, Corey J34. Baby girl will have a page soon. Cooper, I have a child, a fur child, Cooper E. Jefferson on Instagram. And yeah, we're also building a home. So God has been good and he has been doing numbers this year. So we can get right into the questions.
If you are looking to become an influencer, how should you get started?
I get asked this question so much. Of course, you can do anything you put your mind to. But I feel like an influencer is an influencer before you become an influencer. I feel like you don't just wake up one morning and be like, I want to be an influencer. A lot of my influencer friends and people that I know, they kind of just fell into it because people were already asking the questions. People were already looking at them. People were already coming to them for certain niche topics and things like that. And they made a business out of it. So I feel like you have to become not even an expert, but just... it has to already be there. You have to be already sharing what it is that you love and the products that you love and the things you love or the topics that you love. And it happens and people, the traction will come. So I feel like how to get started is just by doing it. You have to start doing it. You have to start sharing. You have to start putting yourself out there. You don't just wake up and then, oh, I want to be an influencer. Let me just go post a picture and hope 10,000 followers come. You have to do it. And a lot of the stuff that I was doing before I even knew it was a job, when I moved to Dallas, I had about 20,000 followers and I wasn't even doing anything but posting like inspirational quotes and outfits from me taking pictures in college because I just like getting dressed and I liked being cute. My friends did too. So we were like, oh, let's get dressed and take pictures before class. And that's just that. But there was no business behind it. There was no money motive behind it. We were just doing it. And then when I moved here, people were like, oh, you have 20,000 followers. How much do you charge for a post? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like I can charge for that? Like it's a thing? So it has to already be in you and you have to already be doing it and have some sort of audience or some sort of expertise or whatever to get started. I feel like you start there, you be consistent there, and then the rest follows.
How do you build your audience and followers?
By being consistent. I have so many people who are like, I posted 3 times and I didn't get enough likes. And I'm like, I posted for 5 years and didn't nobody care to pay me for nothing. You think you're gonna post one product and all the brands are gonna come following? Like, no. You have to be consistent. People have to see this is who you are and what you do before they trust anything you say. You can't just do it once and think that everything is just gonna pop off. You have to be a guided, trusted source. Like, regardless of if this is paid or not, I know I'm gonna get this information from her.
During this journey, what's the most difficult thing to adjust to?
I think the most difficult part to adjust to is everything not always going the way you think it's gonna go. A lot of my consistency in the beginning and trying things out was trial and error. I was like, I'm gonna take this picture, I'm gonna shoot this, I'm gonna talk about this and just put it out there and see what happens. You're literally like throwing stuff to a wall and seeing what sticks. So doing that, and I would be like, oh, this is about to get them. This is about to be so good. And it would be like crickets. And I'm like, okay, so that doesn't go. Let's try something else. Hello, friends. So it is Monday morning and it's 7 a.m. and I'm shooting a lookbook for Boohoo today. Woke up this morning late, rushing, and realized I didn't have any lashes.
Look at her. Take it forever. Picking a song.
It's currently 49 degrees outside.
The only way you're gonna become an expert or become, fluent in this is if you just keep trying different things, keep seeing what it is they want to hear, and listening to your audience. A lot of people just post what they want to post, and like their audience is like, can you give me this? Can you give me this? Can you give me this? And they're like, oh, how about this? And it's like, that's not why we came to you. That's not what we asked for. And yes, you have to stay true to yourself and what you love and things like that, but it's a balance. Because if people are coming to you for this and you giving them this completely opposite thing, you're gonna lose them because they're gonna go where they want to go to get what they want. The trial and error part is a lot to get adjusted to, the consistency, because as much as you don't feel like doing it, Your audience is out of sight, out of mind. If you're not posting, if you're not being a guided source, if you're not consistent with your work, they will go to somebody who is. And you will be that whenever she feels like posting type person to them. And then we know how the algorithm works now. It's if you're not consistent with it, your post will be hidden, and that's just that. So Instagram has they have caught on and are making people be consistent in order to even be seen. And then I think another hard part, the trolls, the opinions, and everything that comes with it. You are putting yourself out there. And for me, I feel like I'm different from a lot of other influencers because I believe that I'm called to this and I believe that I'm on assignment. So I can't let the trolls and the criticism and the opinions and things like that get to me, because the more that I slow up what I'm called to do, that's somebody I could be missing, reaching, kingdom-wise. So that is a lot to adjust to. That is a topic every single time. My therapist, when we meet every week, she's like, how are the trolls this week? How are you feeling? How are you adjusting? Did you just delete and keep it moving? Did you let it marinate? You know, did you internalize any of it? All that kind of stuff. So while that is something that I'm still working, even with growing, because it's like the more followers you get, the more trolls you get. It comes with it. So for me, I'm like, if I can't handle trolls on this level, who am I to say I want to keep growing? Because they're only going to keep coming. And I feel like you have to really have a strong foundation and know who you are in Christ and know who you are and what you're called to do. And that this is it. Like, take me or leave me. This is who I am. You have to really be strong in that, or you will lose. Influencing is not for the weak. It really is not. Like, you know, work-wise, consistency-wise, and just dealing with everybody's opinions. Like, all eyes are on you, and you have to be able to withstand that and keep the same vigor and not be like, oh, I'm not going to post this because I don't know what people are going to think. No, if this is what you know you want to post and this is what you know you want to do, you will throw it up there, and whatever comes at you, you will dodge the bullets and keep it moving. And that's just it.
How do you know what to charge?
Oof. This is such a hard question because there's so many different things that tie into this one thing. There is a specific calculation that my agency goes by, and every agency kind of has their own situation. So I feel like this is something that we may need to do a separate video on, where I can have my manager or something come on. We'll table that one, because there's so many different calculations and things that matter. The engagement, the number of likes, the number of comments, the quality of the content. Because a lot of people think just because you have this number of followers, if your photos look like boo-boo. I mean, everything is a trade-off here. It's a very, very hard question. And you can have thousands of followers but zero conversion. Hundreds of thousands of followers but zero conversion. Or people could just be, you know, liking the post and keeping it moving, not actually making a purchase, which is what the brands want people to do. So a whole bunch of this is so cute, you're so bomb, hard eyes. That doesn't mean much to the brand unless people are like, what size do I need to get? I just placed this order, thank you so much. That type of stuff is what they want to see. So also, when you guys are commenting, if you actually place an order on anything I post sponsored, please share and please let me know in the comments, because brands go through every single one to see who's actually making a move and, you know, building their business. If you are new, you will have to do work for free. No one is going to pay you for something that they've never seen you do before. You have to show them that you could do it before they pay you to do it. So when I first started, I was buying crap loads of clothes from Boohoo. I was buying Pretty Little Thing clothes. I was buying products and doing, you know, stuff to show that I use these products and that I love them and that I could create content that they could also repurpose on their pages. So I was sending them the stuff saying, you know, I just love this product. I would love to work with you guys in the future. And they say, we'll send you this. If you can create this and show us, then we can do something else. But that is a thing. So if you are new and you don't have a portfolio already, yes, you will have to do some things for exchange and for free.
On the side, we've talked about the importance of people commenting or liking or sharing sponsored posts, and what that means on the back end and the breakdown, as far as like people don't realize the time and effort and the team involved, because all the likes and all that you receive obviously then breaks out into like multiple people. So can you kind of explain?
Okay, so when it comes to a sponsored content, the whole process is a brand reaches out. They say, we have this campaign. We want to know if you would be interested. Can you send us your rates? and let us know. From there, I will CC my manager, and I say, you know, connecting with my manager for her to send you over all the metrics and rates and all that kind of stuff. This is if I want to move forward with it after vetting the company, seeing if it's a product that I like, all that kind of stuff. From there, she negotiates the rates. They do the legal contract. The legal goes over the contract. We send it back. We agree on terms. We get the brief. This is what they want. This is how it's captured. I then send the brief to my team, my photographer, assistant, everybody on my team. And they go through it. We then say, do we need any props for this shoot? Do we need to get anything additional to make this vision of the clients come to life? So a lot of times they'll say, this is what we want you to achieve, and then you can run with the rest and make it fit for your content. So I'll then send the brief. We'll get whatever we need to get for the shoot. It's shoot time. The team will set everything up. I will get dressed. I will say this is what we're wearing, blah, blah, blah. While I'm shooting, they're going through the brief to make sure, is this checked off the box? Is this checked off the box? You cannot have this turned this way. The cup has to be this way, not this way, or we will ask you to reshoot. All that kind of stuff goes into it. We then get the photos. Then there's someone on my team who helps go through the actual text. So what are we trying to accomplish? What do we need to make sure to mention in the caption? Blah, blah, blah. We'll do that. Then I get all of that. I get the photos back. I get the text. I get all of that. We go through it. We make it make sense. Make sure everything lines up with the brand. We then send it to the brand for approval. They have to go through it. We want you to change these words. The worst thing is when they ask you to reshoot because you didn't pay attention to the brief and we said this couldn't be in the photo. This had to be turned this way. Whatever. That's why it helps to have a second set of eyes so you don't have to do that. Sometimes reshooting costs. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes brands put it in the contract. When they don't, they have to repay. But I have to pay the assistant, the editor, the photographer, the hairstylist, the makeup artist, everybody. So when we post a sponsored post and we ask y'all to tag and like and share and comment and do all of that stuff, that is why. Sometimes there were reshoots. Sometimes the brand didn't like the post and they asked you to do it again. And then we post and it's crickets. Do you think that they will ever hire us again? No. So, when an influencer or blogger asks for support, it's not just because we want to see the number of likes, y'all. It's not just because we want to see comments. It's because there has been so much work behind the scenes, and we won't even get to the extreme disparity in payments between white and black influencers. Is my hand out the camera?
Yes.
That's how it is. Yeah, like that. So, in order for them to take us serious and not just use us as like a diversity number that they gotta hit, we have to show them that what we do matters and that we put a lot of effort, a lot of times more effort, into the content that we create than our other lighter hue counterparts. But yeah, so you guys, just so you guys can understand all that goes into it, and then not to mention somebody being 1,000 months pregnant doing all this stuff.
This one says how much of your time is spent running business behind the scenes.
Okay, so before I was pregnant and before I had a team, it was very different. Most of my time was behind the scenes. I now have a manager, I have an assistant, I have a photographer. I get my makeup done because I realized when I do my makeup, I question it a lot and I overthink it. When I do my hair, I question it a lot and I overthink it. So me adding these in, so when I have a cost for a post, it's because I have 7 people I gotta pay out of this cut to make, and make it make sense. But I've just noticed with my work style, I like taking on a lot of campaigns. I like showing my audience new products and new things and stuff like that. A lot of my time is, I like just doing the creative, the fun shooting part of it. So although I will talk to my manager, yes, I want to take this on. She'll say this is what they agreed to rate-wise. Do you want to do this? This is below what we're asking. How much do you like the brand? Do you want to take it or pass? Blah, blah, blah. I'll do that, but a lot of the behind-the-scenes work is taken by my agency and then by my team when they're just reviewing the briefs and stuff like that, so I don't have to do too much of it. Before I had a team and an agency and all that kind of stuff, I did a lot of the work on my own, but it was so tedious. to the point where when I got to shooting, I was like, just take the picture. I don't care no more. But now that I have that, I can focus solely on the creative part, which is an extreme blessing.
She won't say this, but while she's getting hair and makeup done, she is technically working because she's engaging with all of you. So it cuts down on her time.
Engaging, posting, responding to comments, responding to DMs, all that kind of stuff. So like I am always like, what can be done? What can be done? What can be done? Even when the team is here, I'm like, can you do this while this person does this, while this person does this? And then we can do, you know, kill 20 birds with one stone.
Circus, yes.
Yeah, that.
Circus.
Literally, it is a circus. You guys see that in the vlogs though.
Any tips on finding the right kind of photographer?
You have to try out different people. Before Marika and I were shooting consistently, I had shot with a few photographers in the city. And while they were amazing, I think you just find somebody that you vibe with the most, who makes you feel confident and talks you through the shoot. So at first I was like, I don't know how to shoot. I mean, I don't know how to pose. I don't know how to do this. It was the beginning where Marika was like, you know, still starting out her business. So we kind of just figured out our rhythm and routine working together. But you will never know until you try out different people, and you have to say, okay, so this is how I felt when I shot with this person. I felt confident, or I felt like, you know, I was a little, you know, what's the word? Timid and stuff like that. So I feel like you have to try out different people to get to somebody that works well with you. Along with that, a lot of people are like, you know, I don't have money for a photographer. You find somebody that fits your budget or that is trying to come up like you. So let's exchange services. While, you know, everybody's worth something, but if you're both working newer and working to get somewhere, you can work something out. There is somebody somewhere that's in the same position as you that is trying to figure it out, and you can do that.
From the moment that you like decided I'm gonna do this full time and you quit your job, how long before that did you see the fruits of your labor? Were you like,
it was a while. I feel like, I mean, I had an audience, but they were so used to my free content. It took a while for them to start understanding that I'm working with these brands now, you know, and I need to do this and I need to do that. And then for them to just see that consistency. So at first, you know, of course I had the people who were like, she's not even a real blogger. She just posts to post, or she's not even a real influencer. She has no real niche, or no, like, cause a lot of people were like, either you were beauty or you were fashion or you were mommy blogger or you were this. It was like specific boxes. And for me, I was like, I don't want to put myself in a box. I want to do what I want to do. And that's just it. So I stuck to that. And it took a while for it to make sense to people. But when you're consistent and when people see that this is what you're going to do, regardless of their opinions and whatnot, they start to support you because it's like, oh, sis is serious. So it took a while, but I wasn't backing down. One, because I did have people to prove wrong. You know, a lot of my corporate counterparts were like, so you're going to go take pictures for a living? So you're going to do this for a living? Even friends and family, not in a negative way, but it was like, all she does is sit on Instagram. All she does, like, I got called a social media whore. Like, all she does is just post and do all this stuff on social media and nothing in real life. You're not doing anything in real life.
People used to always, and like my family and friends used to always be like, you're such an attention whore. You're always on social media. You need to put your phone down and enjoy it, until I started making money from it. Now everyone's like, can I get a shout out? Can you post my business? I'm like, didn't you just a couple months ago or a couple years ago tell me how terrible it was that I was obsessed with social media?
So for me, I use that as motivation. I actually enjoy stuff like that because it makes me freaking hammer stuff out. And not only did I have people to prove wrong, but I was on assignment. I still am. I know I was called to this. I know that this is what God wants me to do. I know that this is my contribution to the kingdom by reaching his people and, you know, living in holy boldness and showing, you know, that you could do whatever you put your mind to. Like, you can do it. And even if it takes time, that's just life. That was a rant, but yeah.
I just want to say I'm really proud of her, and this is probably going to put in the bloopers, but she hasn't stopped not once during this video, and it's the first time that we've shot all the way through while she's been pregnant.
Yeah, so. Because usually I can't breathe. I'm trying to figure stuff out, but I'm so passionate about this, and I'm so like, I don't know, like, I just want people to just be bold in what they know they're called to do. There's nothing worse than being so talented and so gifted and not believing in it yourself. Because if you don't believe it yourself, we can see that. We can see, it comes off through your content. It comes off through just your whole aura. So like for me, I really aim to make people confident. And even if it does not make sense to not a soul, if you know this is what you're called to do, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who agrees, who comes along with you, who supports you. I've had so many questions about, what if none of your family or friends support you? Okay, Ann? Like, it does not matter. Like, you still do it. And I can guarantee you, once stuff starts happening, everyone's gonna come and be supportive. So it doesn't matter. Like, you just have to do it regardless of what it looks like or sounds like. If you are the most amazing shag knitter in the world and you believe that you are called to make sweaters like this, do it, and do it bold, and be proud of your work. That's just it. Period, Pooh.
Do you truly see longevity in influencing?
1000%. While the platform may change, which is why I encourage people to have a blog, have a YouTube, have a TikTok, have a Snapchat, have a whatever you think makes sense for your business, do that, because we see how platforms fluctuate. As far as influencing, if people are making products, they will need people to promote them. Unless the world ends and no one ever creates another product and no one ever needs something to be promoted, that's the only way it would end. There are billions being spent on influencing. People don't watch commercials anymore. They don't look at billboards. All of that money is going towards where the attention is, which is social. You build your brand on different platforms and have your own hub, so like a website that has all of what you do, and you'll be straight. But for sure, influencing is not going anywhere. I do have an ebook. We're going to put it in the description.
Yes.
It is kind of just like in how to get started, some of the best influencer platforms where you can get deals and things like that to kind of get you started off. Some are for exchange and some are paid. I will have it on sale through the end of 2020. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I answered at least a few of your questions. I know I could really go on and on about influencing and stuff like that, probably for days. But if you guys have additional questions, drop them down in the comments below. Make sure you're following me on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook. Go to the website and check out the blog post, because a lot of links that you guys are looking for are listed in the blog post. And that's it. I love you guys. Happy holidays. Peace out. Along with that, hit the bell notifications link. This sweater.